Success is no accident. It's hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you are doing or learning to do. Peel. Hello, and welcome back to the Mind Your Business Mentor podcast. I'm Stephanie, your mentor and your host. And today is a special episode. It's actually episode number 10, and it is a Freestyle Friday episode. I've sent out my podcast to my immediate circle, my friends and my family, and a few colleagues to get them, to let them know, you got to represent yourself. If you expect anybody else to represent you or pay any attention to what you're doing. And I sent it out to a few friends, and the feedback that I've been getting is that I sound different. That they don't use the word robotic. A couple people didn't know what word to use, and I was like, y'all trying to call me dry? And not to put words in their mouth, but I already knew what they were talking about. And what they're talking about is the process that I personally have to go through. When I put this podcast out, or when I decided to go ahead and push myself to put the podcast out, that was, 2 months late. I knew that I had to be structured for multiple reasons. When you take the life assessment, which is something that I have presented to the community and told them that they need to do. It's part of the it's part of the beginning stages of the NYB lifestyle. And they take the life assessment, and they're basically scaling or grading their life in each area of their life on a scale from 1 to 10, so that they can see the scores and what scores are a little bit lower or lower than they would like for them to be, to give them an indication of, I need to put some work in on this area of my life. I'd like to put some work in on that area of my life. And then also not only doing the life assessment, but doing a self-reflection on your character, the things that you know about yourself, whether you're always late, or you procrastinate, or you're selfish, or you can be loud, or you always eat the last cookie out the jar, whatever it is. And I don't mean to name a bunch of negative things, but it's the negative things that we normally draw attention to as to what we want to change. And I know that I have struggled with the inconsistency in my life, especially when it comes to business. And there's a lot of different reasons for that. So I'll get back to that. But because I recognize the fact that I can be inconsistent, I can start some things and not finish them, I had to launch this podcast in a certain way. And that certain way was to create a content bank, meaning get ahead of myself. I needed to produce a number of pieces of content prior to going live so that I would be ahead of myself. That way I could circumvent or avoid the inconsistency that I have been known to exhibit. I also know that when I'm talking and I'm passionate about what I'm talking about and I want to share it, when I'm face to face, it's a little bit different. But no, actually, it's not that much different. This is another thing that I realize about myself. When I'm face to face or recording on a device, I get on the subject matter, and if I add one extra detail, or if I get real passionate and I try to over-explain one particular instant of that story or that subject matter, I can go in a totally different direction and completely forget the original point that I wanted to make. So with me knowing that about myself, I also had to script out each episode so that I would be, because it was very important to me that the information, the content of my content, the substance of my content had to deliver value, had to get the point across, had to get the process rolling for those who would like to build an MYB lifestyle that is done in a systematic and structured way. And therefore, it had to be planned out. It had to be written out. Step 1, step 2. What should we start first? Where should we go after that? So on and so forth. And which means I'm reading the scripts that I wrote for myself, which in turn also makes me sound a little different. Even though I try to use some inflection in my voice, that's the word that my mom used. She was like, I just feel like I'm listening to a teacher. And I'm like, well, kind of, Mom. I'm a mentor, which is almost the same thing. And I want to be, more open and more free. But I say all that to say, give me some time. I'm working through my own insecurities. I'm working through my own fears. I'm working through my lack of comfortability on the task that I have set in front of me. I'm busting through my comfort zone, and I may not sound like myself, but please believe me, I could be no one else but Stephanie. I'm not trying to be nobody else but Stephanie. I make a real good Stephanie. I'm cool on the copies. I don't want to be a copy of nothing or nobody. I love Stephanie, and I can't wait to develop the Stephanie that I know I was meant to be on every level, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a colleague, as a board member, as a founder, as a creator, as a content creator, as a thought leader, as a sister in the church, as a, Bible study participant. It doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to development. And here's the thing. I'm not worried about what I'm going to become next year. I'm enjoying who I am today. I love this journey, and I just wanted to reassure those who actually know me, I'm here. It's Stephanie. Please believe it's Stephanie, but I have to work through this process the best way I know how. So I say that to say, when you recognize something about yourself, whether it's true or not, whether it's temporary or permanent, you still recognize it. And until you've made a permanent change in an area that you would like to see improvement, you make or take the necessary steps in order to show up the way that you want to show up. This information is important to me. It's important to me as much as it's important for me to get the information to those who need the information. I want to help any and everybody that I have been assigned to. I know everybody's not going to rock with me, and that's okay. I couldn't handle everybody rocking with me anyway. I know everybody's not going to rock, but those that do, I want to serve. I want to provide value. I want to provide breakthroughs. I want to break them through so that when they look into the mirror, they're like, there you are. It's so nice to meet you. Are you ready to get this done? And when I say get it done, I mean just live to the fullest. Just be to the fullest. It's not about what we achieve. It's who we become. It's not even about who we become. It's who we are right now. The journey is so much more important than the destination, but promise you, and I please believe that we have destinations to be at, to arrive there. See, this is the reason why I script everything out, because I get my words twisted up, but I hope that you hear the message that I'm sending. I'm very glad that I pushed myself to start this podcast, although I was not ready. I'm very glad for the people that are taking the time to listen to this message. I'm perfecting my message as it comes. It may, it may not be the greatest in the very beginning, and it may be just fine for those that are listening. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just being obedient to the desires of my heart. I'm being obedient to the call. I'm being obedient to the service that I want to provide, to the company that I want to build, to the vision that I want to see. I have some really big dreams, and I know I can only make them one decision at a time, one step at a time, one episode at a time, one piece of content at a time, one blog post at a time, one email at a time, one one-on-one conversation at a time, to one coachee at a time, to one mentee at a time. Just one step at a time, right now, which is the only time that actually exists. I just appreciate you guys so far. I'm committed to bring mad value to you going forward. I wasn't sure what all I was going to say on this freestyle. I hope that people that know me can hear my voice now. That's like, that's how you normally sound. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And another thing that really gets me is the timer. I be looking at the timer because I try to stay in the 10 to 15 minute range. But I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for the vision. I'm grateful for the ambition. I'm grateful for the thought process. I'm grateful for the problems. I'm grateful for the solutions. I'm grateful for the journey. I really am. I really am. So, this was a freestyle episode, and I hope you got some type of value out of it. If nothing else, at least you get to know me just a little bit better, a little bit more. I hope you got some value. If you did, please share it with your friends and your family. Subscribe on your favorite platform. If you haven't taken the life assessment yet, please visit my website, themindyourbusinessmentor.com. It's right on the first page. Unlock your best life with a free life assessment worksheet. Figure out where you're at, where you want to start your journey, what area of your life needs the most attention, and start working through this process with us. Start reading, watching videos, educating yourself, building yourself, developing yourself to that asset that you were designed to be. You want to start your own business? Great. Just understand that you are the main asset of your business, and you work on you and everything else will fall into place. You have a blessed evening, and I will see you next week on Monday on episode number 11. Thank you, everybody. I hit 100 downloads in my first week. I appreciate you, and I look forward to our audience building. I look forward to interacting with my audience, and I look forward to putting these workshops together so that you guys, we can meet face to face and start working through these issues together collectively. You're not alone. You're not alone. You will be able to improve your life, to develop the areas that you already know you're capable of doing. You just haven't taken those steps to do it yet. I'm here. I'm with you. I got you. And you got this as long as you mind your business.